Hello, welcome to this Adalo tutorial. My name is Paul, your favorite no-code tutor on the internet. I teach you how to build web, mobile applications and how to automate processes with no code. In this tutorial, I'm going to walk you through building your mobile applications with Glide. So it could be a web application, it could be mobile application. Adalo can build them all. One thing I love about Adalo is that Adalo is simple, it's quick, it's fast, it's easy for you to get started with. I think right off the bat, Adalo should be one of the easiest app development tool to get started with. So in this tutorial, you're going to learn how to use the Adalo interface. You're going to be introduced to database. You'll be introduced to form. You'll be introduced to collection. You will learn how to create screens. You will learn how to create responsive screens. You understand components, actions. You just understand how to get started from not knowing how to build anything with Adalo to learning how to build your own mobile application with Adalo. Right, that's what we're going to get started with. So definitely, if you stick with me to the end of the tutorial, you'll get access to this particular template. Yes, you get access to this particular template. It's going to be the link is going to be put down below, so you get access to the template so you can get started. Get started from where I stopped, or you can improve the template, or you can use it if you want to. So in this tutorial, we're going to be building a wiki, right? A wiki and a doc. A doc keeper. That's what we're going to be building. So we're going to have a few screens like this. We're going to have the login screen, the sign up screen. We're going to have a home screen where we keep all our documents. We're going to have a settings screen. We're going to be able to create new items, because if users are always reading and updating data in your application. So we're going to walk through that. We're going to see how you can create folders. We're going to create all of these things. Probably not everything, because I want to keep the tutorial under 1 hour. Probably not everything, but at the end of the day, you will be able to use most of the features in Adalo. So first thing first, let's get started with planning our application. I'm just going to discuss how we plan applications and how it works, right? So when you're looking forward to planning your application in Adalo, this idea and you really want to get started, you have this idea, you think, okay, I have this idea, it's gonna sell. Sometimes you might think you want to reinvent the wheel. It's not a very cool thing to reinvent the wheel. You can go to sites like Mobin, right? You can go to site like Mobin and find app inspiration. You can use this for free. You can find app inspiration and see exactly what people are building. So you can figure out any of the category that your app falls into, and you can find apps that meet your need, and you can get inspiration from that. If you want to learn more about, planning your Adalo application, planning your database, there's a link below where you get access to our community. It's a full no-code MBA course, right? There's a link below. I'm going to show you in between this video. You get access to our community. You get access to a complete no-code MBA course. We have a whole lot of course there. You're going to learn how to use tools like Adalo, Bubble, Airtable, FlutterFlow, Framework, lots of tools in there that if you want to build your no-code application, you want to build your no-code dream, you can learn how to build everything directly from that no-code MBA course. So let's get started. Let's move over to Adalo and see how we can start creating our own application. So if you are new to Adalo, if you don't have an account, you just go here and click on login or sign up and get access to 30-day free trial. But if you have an account already, you click on your, just click on your dashboard, top of your dashboard, and click on create new, right? So you see Adalo presents you with two options for you to build apps that lives on mobile, tablet, and desktop, and apps that lives on mobile, right? We're gonna go with the first option, mobile, tablet, and desktop. So the reason why we're going with that is that somehow this enables you to build once and deploy in 3 places. So if you choose the mobile, tablet, and desktop, it means you can build just once on your mobile, for your mobile. You can put it on the iOS Play Store, on the Android Play Store. At the same time, you can put it on the tablet market and also put it on the desktop store, on the desktop. But the thing is, if you think that most of your users are going to be on the mobile aspect of things, then you could go for the mobile only options, because these days phones are getting way more popular than their desktop counterpart. Right, so Adalo also give you the option to choose from a blank desktop or choose from a blank mobile first, or choose from or choose from other templates, right? And also there's an advanced option here where you can connect other database to it, but don't worry, we're fine. Okay, let's go back to the advanced option again. You can see here that Adalo gives you the option to share database of a previous application. So the way this works is that, let's say for example, you build a user-facing application, and this time you want to build application for the admin, right? You want users to be able to, the admin users to be able to download a different application, and then you want the current user, the customer facing user, to be able to download a different type of application entirely. So this can really work. Or let's say for example, Bolt, right? Bolt has a driver part and it also has a rider part, right? It has a rider part and it has a user end. So they have two type of application. If you're a rider, you download one part. If you are a user, the person who's going to be booking a ride a lot, you download another part. So this can work because the two apps, the rider app and the front customer facing application, they use the same database, right? People are only seeing different things based on their role in the application, right? So we'll go back, create a new database, and we'll say done, and then we'll come back here, we'll choose this already, we'll click on next, and this is the time for us to enter our app name. So I'm going to say wiki doc, that's going to be my application, and it's going to ask me what's the app going to be used for. I would say mostly me, just testing around, and I'll pick my primary color. For my primary color, I'm just going to pick something, something cool. For my secondary color, don't worry, we can go to Visily. So this is a tool that you can use to design your UI, right? It's a very, very cool tool. It comes with a whole lot of templates, a whole lot of boards. You can use it to design your UI and, in record time. Don't worry, we're going to explore this we're going to be exploring this in No-Code MBA. So if you want to learn more how to build your own UI, you can click on the link and you'll find that in the No-Code MBA, right? Meanwhile, the No-Code MBA course is always going to be populated all the time, so you can always find it there. So click here. I'm going to click on this theme and I'm going to click on colors, and this is my primary color. I'll copy this, I'll come back to my application, and where it says primary color, I'm just going to paste this in there, right? And then I'll come back here and my secondary color, I'll copy this, I'm going to paste it in here. So another thing that you want to note is that you can see that we have a whole lot of colors here. We have color 1, 2, and 3. Adalo does not really have all of these colors. Does not really give you the options to add all of these colors, so you have to be using them in your application as occasion serves, right? It doesn't have all of this gray scale color. You have to be using it in your application as occasion serves, right? So we click on create. So once you click on create, you'll realize that Adalo is going to present you with a couple of screens, with a couple of ready-made screens right here. These are a lot of ready-made screens. These are a couple of ready-made screens from Adalo. It's 4 screens. So we have the welcome screen, the login screen, the sign up screen, and the home screen. These screens are mobile responsive already, right? So if I click here, I can see the different type of view. You can see the tablet view. I can see the mobile view all the way, right? So also, if you come back here, we can see that we have other things like the font. So the heading font is Open Sans and the body font is Inter, right? So let's come back here to our wiki doc. And I'm gonna start from the branding. The reason why I'm going like this, because I think probably you might have a little bit of idea about Adalo, but I'm just gonna make it project based. Before we finish building the application, you should know how to build your own app with Adalo, because I'll be using almost every tool that we have here in Adalo to build this, right? So if we click on this font aspect of things, we can see the heading font. It's Open Sans. Right, this is the heading font, Open Sans, and the body font is Inter. No, not Inter Shadow. The body font is Inter. That's it. The branding mostly just help you to add very cool colors that are repeating all the time into your application. Very cool colors to give a theme to your application, so you can reuse these colors over and over again. The primary color is going to be used the most in your application, and then the secondary colors will be used for things like buttons mostly in your application, right? So if you go back to the board, we can see application. Then we can get started with building our launch screen, right? So you want to think of all your applications as rows and columns. That's how you want to think about it, rows and columns. So you can see we have this is a column. We have 1 object, 2 object, 3 object, and then we have the button at the bottom. So you want to always think of this as rows and columns, right? So let's switch back to the mobile side of things. So in terms of building responsively with Adalo, you want to build the mobile aspect of things first, and then later you can go build the web aspect of things. You can build the desktop, you can build the web once you succeed in building the mobile aspect of things, right? So let's reformat this page just like the way we have here. We have the logo, we have a test, we have another test, and then we have to get started, right? So here we're going to use this as the logo. We'll change it, click, and then we'll change it to the logo right there. So this is the logo for the sign in. We're going to take it to the bottom, and then we have this test over here. Meanwhile, this test is not green, this test is black, right? Change this to black. What's the name of the app? We say welcome. Okay. So we say welcome, and then we click right here. Organize thoughts. Okay, so this seemed to be a button, so I'm going to take this away. And add a test inside. So if I click on the plus sign, I can see various options. The plus sign gives you 2 options. One of them is to add the shortcuts here, and the other is this bottom screen where you can add components and you can add screens, right? If I click on the add components, we can see different components here. So everything that you get to drag and drop into a screen, Adalo calls them components. You can see we have the text components, we have button, we have list, bar. So Adalo has a whole lot of components. That's why it allows you to build fast, because of the components that it has. So if you really want to build fast, you have to keep on dropping this component, taking this component, dropping them on the screen, and not creating your own components yourself. So in terms of creating components in Adalo, it's pretty limited, right? Some of the components that you can create in Adalo are the list component, right? List component. But most of the time, you're going to be using components that come in directly from Adalo. That's what you're going to be using. So we have this right here. We have to align it to the middle. In order for us to do this, we click on it on the edit style. So we click on the edit style. We say, okay, not auto width. We click formatting, right? We click formatting, click on alignment, align center. Take it over here, align center, make it smaller, and then we'll have it here. In order for everything to scale very well so that it doesn't break when it gets to different sizes, so we can click right here and just group everything together, right? Group everything together. We can do that right there. So if we group everything together, we can put everything in the middle. So let's try. We have this in the middle. We have this in the middle. So we also have this in the middle, right? So let's go back to our board. We have get started. That's what we have here. Get started. Let's come back here and we say get started instead of sign up. Right. So if you are cool, if you're able to do that, that means you've created your first screen in Adalo. Right. So the next screen that we're going to create right here is the sign up screen. So when we're creating sign up, it means that we're telling people how are we when you're creating sign up, it means you're asking yourself, how are people going to sign up into my application? What exactly are they going to do with it? How are they going to be signing up? So you can say you want them to sign up via email and password. You can also use third-party signing like Facebook, Facebook, Twitter, and other Google and other signing. But if you're just getting started, it'd be cool that you use simple email and password to sign up into your application. So during this part of it, we're going to cover database. We're going to cover how Adalo database work. So let's create the sign up first, and then we'll do that. So in order for us to create a sign up, I'm going to remove the sign up screen. Right here. I'm going to take this app name away. The background right here. The background edit style for the background, I'm going to turn it to white. Right, I'm going to turn it to white. So that's where we got it from, the edit style. And I'm going to copy this. Copy. I'm going to paste it here. Just paste it right here. Right. Because I want to add the sign up and create account to continue. That's what I want to add. So I'm going to say sign up, create account to continue. That's what I want to add. And then I'm going to add the login screen. So in order for you to understand the kind of data that you're using, that you're collecting from your user, you click on the database aspect of things, right? You can see Adalo comes with an already made user collection, right? User collection. So think of this collection as a table, just like you would see a relational database. You would see Adalo uses relational database. So all these are tables, but it's called collections in Adalo. So let's say I want to add something else, because we are creating a doc. We are creating a doc. A document saving application. That's what we're creating. So you basically have to think of, okay, what are we going to be having? What names are we going to be using in the application? Thinking of your database as now, all the noun of your application. So like in growing up, we were taught that now is the name of any person, animal, place, or things, right? So you're thinking, what kind of noun do we have in our application? So we have this user, right? So that's why we have this user database, because your app is going to be used by human beings, right? And then we have doc, right? We have types. So we have these documents, quick notes, folder, templates. All these are type of something, right? Category of something or type of something. So here it's saying create new. What do you want to create? Document, quick note, template, or folder, right? And each of these have something inside of it, right? Each of them have something inside of it. And then it says create new folder, name, icon, color, description, right? So each of these have notes inside of it. So a quick note is going to have a note inside. If it's going to be a template, it's going to have a note inside. If it's going to be a folder, it's going to be a note inside, right? But we're just going to focus on documents and quick notes in this tutorial, right? That's what we're going to be focusing on. So here, we'll come back here, right? And we'll just write types, note type, or let's say doc type. So this is going to be a table for us. Click on it, right? Doc type, we have a name. So this is the default that it gives to us. It has the name. It will record the date that you created the doc type, yourself. And then here we're going to add like image of the doc type, image, right, of the doc type. That's fine. We have a name, and then we can add a description to it. But this is not very, very important. So we just add a description to it, and that's fine. And then next thing that we have is that we have the doc, right? We have the doc. So the document, if you're typing, you're definitely going to have a title, and then you have the description itself, the note itself. So here we're going to say add collection, and we'll just call it doc. So this is the document. Remember, it's a document keeping application. So a document is going to have a type, right? And each document is going to belong to a user, but a user can have many documents, right? So let's say doc. So doc is going to have a name, and the doc is going to have an image if necessary. image header, right? Save. And a doc also is going to have note. It's going to have notes inside of it. So what else will it have? It's going to have published, yes or no. So you can see the data type that I'm using. So I'm going to go back here and explain this data type for you. So if I click on add property, right, which is a type of thing that you want to put in your table, right? You can see this property. We have test, right? We have number. Test is just a string, you know, like the name of a person, you know, like state, name of a state. We have number. They are integer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, lots and lots of number. Then we have true or false, like is it hot, is it cold, has this document been published or is it not published, you know, true or false. Date and time, you know, date and time is going to be like, let's say today is April 24th, right? 24th of April 2024, and then there's a time like right now it's 11:50 a.m. right now. So that's like date and time. Date is just the day, you know, like 24th of April 2024. That's the date. So we have image just like what we used to input the logo. Then we have file. So file could be PDF, it could be Microsoft Word, it could be any file that have been compressed, you know, it could be any type of file, it could be a zip file, you know, any type. And then we have location. This is one of the killer features of Adalo, this particular location data type, because it syncs directly to Google Map, right? And so with this location data type, you can pinpoint the direct location of a particular user or of a particular, you know, thing, of a particular record in your application. Let's say, for example, you're doing something like a delivery application, you know, you can basically pinpoint exactly where the will take place. You can use this to calculate, right? Let's say you want to send information to a person to people in a particular state. You can use this location feature to do it, right? And then we have relationships. So as you can see, a data type, right? A data type can have multiple documents, but a document can only belong to one data type, right? It's just like a family. So a family can have many children, many kids, right? But a child can only belong to one mom and one dad. A mom and a dad can give birth to many kids, which is one to many, right? Many kids, but a child can only have one father and one mom, which is one to many, right? I don't know. Are you getting it? One to many. So here, the way we'll do it is that we'll click on this doc, or we can use this data type. It's fine. We can use the data type, or we can use the doc. So if we click on the data type, it's going to say, would you want to have a relationship with Word document? And here, a doc can have multiple doc types, but a doc type belongs to one doc, which is wrong, right? A doc can only have one doc type. A doc type can have multiple docs, right? So this is the major one that we're going for, because you can see we can have under category 1, we can have 200 documents, right? If we go back here, you would see right here under this document, we have 32 documents. Under quick notes, we have 10 quick notes. Under folders, we have 5 folders. Under templates, we have like 10 templates, right? So it's just like under sports story. Like if you're reading the BBC right now, you see under sports, we can have a lot of subcategories like football and all that. But you see each of those, and under football, we can have a lot of stories. But each of those stories have one single category, which is football, right? Football can have many stories, but one story belongs to one category. Many stories can belong to one football category. I hope you're getting me, right? Okay, so this is it. So we're going to say doc. So, but if you come back here, you're going to see that we have this relationship here already. And if you click into this, you will see we have a record, name, image folder, image header, note, published, and doc type. This is a record itself. That's the way it's created. And Adalo also creates, you know, feeds that you can't see, but you can use, like the document ID, created time, and the time this particular document was updated. So this is created by Adalo itself, right? So let's fast forward a little bit. We're going to add a form. The reason why we're adding a form, because we need to sign in, right? As long as we need to sign in, we need users to be able to sign in through a form. So if we click on this, we say, what kind of form do you want? What kind of collection is this coming from? Like, what table is this from going to? When the user submit, what's going to happen to this form? Then the data is going to go to the user table, right? It's going to go to the user table, and inside the form, right, it's going to, and on the form action, it's going to ask you, what do you want to do after the user finished filling the form? So we want the user to sign up. That's what we want the user to do. We just want the current user to be signed up immediately after filling the form. That's what we want them to do. And then we also have fields. You can see we have a lot of fields here: email, password, username, and full name. But we don't want the user to give us all of those, right? Let's take it upward a little bit. We don't want the user to give us all of those. So what we can do is that we'll come here to the list, come to the fields, and we'll take it away. We'll take the full name away. You can see the form strings. You can see the form strings over here. We'll take this away. You can see the form strings, right? And over here we have sign up. Hope you get it. We have sign up. That's the same thing we have here. We have sign up over here, right? And then we have terms and conditions button over here. So let's go ahead and, click on the submit button, and we can edit style, and then we can change the fill color to this color, right? So we're going to duplicate this. This is our login button, but let's call it our sign in button. Sign in screen right there. And right here, I'm just going to delete this. Okay, I'm going to delete this screen because I want to duplicate it. I'm going to delete this screen, and I'm going to duplicate this one. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. So I just duplicated it over here, bring it over here. So these are some of the things that you have to take note. Getting screens to align in one place in Adalo takes a whole lot of drag and drop. And then I'll drop it here, and I'm just going to turn this into login. Sign in to your account to continue. All right, so here we're gonna have login over here. Submit button, we're going to have login. And on the feed aspect of things, we're gonna say, what do you want users to do? What do you want this form to do? We want this form to log the user up. That's what we want them to do. And then it comes back to that point where you have to be able to send user from one screen to another, right? So when user click on this screen, we want to be able to send them somewhere. So we want to be able to send them to the sign in page when they click on this screen, right? That's what we want to send them to. So when they click on this particular screen, right, we want to say we want to send them to this particular sign up screen right here. Sign in screen, this one. Sign in screen. So we turn it into, we call it sign up. So I want to take them to the sign up screen right there, right? And then when they click on this sign up, when they are done signing up, we want to add an action, right? Add an action, sign up the user, add another action, and link them to the home screen, right? Same thing here. When they are done, create a login action and link them to the home screen. And then I'm pretty sure you're thinking, what's going to happen if a person already have an account? So that's why we're going to add another button in here, right? We'll add another button in here at the bottom, or yeah, we'll add it here. And this button is going to be, this particular button is going to be an outline button right here. It's gonna be already have an account. We'll say login. So right here, we expand it. Already have an account login, so we take this away. We just expand it, right? Already have an account, you say login. That's it. Click on the formatting. You know, I think we're already good. Remove the uppercase, make it smaller. This is where I remove the uppercase right here, right? Remove the uppercase, make it smaller. So when the user click on this, it takes them to the login screen. Link takes them to the sign into, which is login screen. So I'm gonna copy this, copy and paste this. So this is gonna be don't have an account. Don't have an account. Then this is gonna say sign up. It's gonna say sign up, and then when the user click on the screen, it's gonna take them all the way to the sign up screen. And then we can also try some of the predefined transitions. So we can see transition here. You can tell it to float left. You can tell it to float right. You can tell it to slide left. You can tell it to slide right. So you can use any of the default, right? You can use any of the default depending on how you're doing it. So if you click on this, this is going back, right? It's going back. You can tell it to slide left. Right here, you can tell it to slide right, which is cool, or you can tell it to float. So it's very, very cool. So if you've been able to get to this point, congratulations. You've been able to create your authentication screens. Don't worry, these are going to work in production. You're ready to, this is going to work in production. You've created your authentication screen, and the next screen we're going to work at creating is going to be this home screen, right? Go take a cup of coffee and come back and join me while we create the home screen. I'll see you then. So if you look at it, this homepage, right, contains few elements that we've not designed before, right? So if you look at this very, very well, you'll see you'll be able to break this particular application into rows and columns. So we can see one row over here, right? We can see a row over here. Yeah, this is a big column, right? Three columns, right? Column 1, column 2, column 3. But what you call column, what Adalo calls, what other app called columns and row, Adalo just call it a container, right? A container or a column or a group. Yeah, Adalo calls it group, right? That's what Adalo calls a group. So this is a group. So this is a list. This is a group, right? This is a list inside a group, right? This is another list, right? So that's how we're just going to create it. List, and a group. It's not as difficult as you think it is. So let's go back to Adalo, right? If we come back here to Adalo, we're going to add an image to it using our plus sign. We'll add an image to it right here, right? And come back to these styles, and we'll just give it an image style of 50 by 50, right? And then we'll make it very round, because what we're making is this user, right? This user, that's what we're making. So we'll come back right here. So come back right here, just put this at the bottom of it. It's fine. Just put it at the bottom of it right here. It's fine. So we'll put this right here, and then we need another. This is an option, right? This is an icon. So we just take an icon right there, add a plus sign and call it an icon, and bring it over here and put it right here. That's an icon. So find the right icon here. Just find the right icon. If you can't find it for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just gonna use anything that looks close, anything that comes close. So this is what we're looking for. We're looking for the opposite of this. It means we're likely gonna find it. Okay, don't worry, I'm just gonna use this icon, which is fine. So I'll click this and I'll click here, right? And I'll group it together, right? I'll call it a name. I'll say user image plus icon, so I can always remember. And then with that is done, we have this tree over here, 1, 2, 3. So what this is that this is like a page view. That's what it is. It's like a page view. So if I click on this, what at the bottom should change? If I click on members, what's at the bottom? Again, if I click on settings, it should change. It's like a single screen application. That's what it is. But you see, Adalo does not really have that feature. So what you want to do, you want to create multi-screen, right? You want to create 3 different screens that is similar to each other, but you just keep on changing. You just keep on switching based on what the user is clicking, right? I'll show you how that's going to happen. 3 different screens, that's what we're going to create. So first thing, let's create the first screen, and the first screen is just going to be, you know, a couple of buttons. So we have one button over here, test. That's what we have. So let's click on the button first. Let's create a button. First button. This is the first button right here. And what's on the first button? We have all files. All files. Take away the icon. We have all files as first button. No uppercase. No shadow. This was on the first button. All files. The formatting, yeah, we have, you know, we have font enter, yeah, we have that. So we're gonna be, yeah, I think that's cool. That's cool. So let's go back to, yeah, let's go back to our rounding. Let's make it really round, right? And then we have another test over here at the side, right? Then we have control. Let's just control. So we have members, right? So it's gonna be all through. So Ctrl C, Ctrl V. So we have settings, right? So that's what we have. That's how we're gonna do it. Settings, members, and then we'll highlight all of this. 1, 2, 3, right? Put in the middle. Put it in the middle and just group. So we'll just call it here in-app nav. That's what we're gonna call it. Right? You see how we're doing it? In-app nav. So, but if you come back here, you'll see this occurs here, here, and here. So what we'll do, we click this, duplicate, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. So right here, we just switch. So all we're doing is that we're just going to switch this out, take this in here, right? Switch it in here, back again. Here, we'll turn this to members, right? And then we'll call this all files. And then we do the same thing here, take this away. We'll switch to this other side, take this here, right, take this here. So this is going to be all files, and this is going to be members, and then this is going to be settings. So what you're doing is that you're just giving the users an illusion, or the illusion that they are in the same page. But what you're going to be doing is that when they click on members, when they click on this button, you'll take them to this place immediately. When they click on settings, you take them to this other screen immediately. So don't forget to rename your screen. Always remember, I'm going to rename this settings. Here, I'm going to rename this screen members, right? This is the home screen, right? So if you got there, congratulations. So the next thing we want to do is a list. That's the next thing we want to do. We want to have a list right there. So let's click on it. Let's bring in a test first. Bring in a test first, and that test is called recent files or recent docs, right? That's the name of this test. And just bring it to the end over here, right? You can see the way it is, recent docs, and then we have CL. So this recent doc, we're just gonna give it a font size and duplicate it. Ctrl C, Ctrl V, bring it the other one to this other end, right? And turn it back to 16 right there, and we're going to align right, and then we will align right and reduce the color of it, right? And don't forget, if you see, look at it, one is left aligned and the other one is right aligned. So we are going to group both of them together. We'll group both of them together, right? See all and recent doc. We'll click on this guy and make a group. And we're just gonna say doc nav. That's what we're gonna say. Doc nav, right there. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to create a list now. So you see, this itself is a list. That's how Adalo displays most of its data, using list. And that's what you have to do. You can't display a lot of data in Adalo without using list, especially if you have a lot of data that you want to display. In fact, that's the way almost all no-code application display data. The data can be coming in from an API, right? An API, that means an external source, an external database like Google Sheets, like Notion, you know, like Airtable, all the data source. Your data can be coming from there. But if you want to display it, it's going to be a list. Like programmers will call it an array. You know, an array list, because you're displaying the same data type over and over and over again. So you create one thing and then ask the other ones to just it's like a multiple of something, right? You create one single list, and every other thing takes the shape and form of that particular list. So the kind of list that we're looking for is this one. This horizontal list is what we're looking for right here. And this is a list of doc. That's it, a list of doc. That's what it is. So we'll come back here and say, hey, what list is going to be? It's going to be a list of doc, right? It's going to be a list of all the doc, right? So Adalo have this filter thing, right? You can filter via, you can filter via a whole lot of stuff, but there's not a lot of filter here, right? You can filter based on the type of doc. You can click on this filter, click on it, and you say when the doc type name, right, is equal to a particular doc type. But we're not going to filter it, but we just want to sort it based on time. So if you look at it here, it says recent doc. That's what it's saying, recent doc. So we're just going to sort it, right, from created date, newest to the oldest. That's how we're going to sort it right there, newest to the oldest, right there. And we're going to say a maximum of 8. Remember, we don't have any doc. We don't have any doc here. We'll still have to figure out a way to create this doc in our application, right? Adalo has the magic test. Yeah, it has this thing called magic test. And also when you create a list, Adalo will try to match the data type that you have in your list to what we have on the screen over here. So you can see it's saying doc name and it's saying subtitle. But what we want to add here, we want to add the placeholder right there is the current doc image. Because if you come back here to this doc, you can see that our doc has an image right there. So that's why Adalo is picking that image as the placeholder, right? Item spacing is the spacing between, two lists, between two identical doc. Just the space between two identical doc. That's what it is over there. So also we have the doc name, we have the doc title, we have image options. We can reduce the width of the image, we can increase the width of the image. So we're just going to leave it there at 220, right? We're going to leave it there. Rounding is fine. And what else do we need? Okay, what else do we need? We don't need a bottom bar test. We don't have it there. So we have this. If the list is empty, we can add an image. We can add a top a test and a title, something like, hey, sorry, no list at this time, sorry, no new doc at this time. So it's just very good user experience to add something so users know that there's nothing to look out for at this time. So likely you're going to be using red, right, to say sorry, red, but say sorry, there's no new doc at this time. Why? Because you just broke someone's out. They're coming here to see a list, and then you're telling them there's no list at this particular time, right? So let's come back here. So if you click here, you can actually add actions. You can take this from this list, you can take it to another tab where users can see all the story that is inside this particular card, right? If when the users click on this particular list. So let's go see what's at the bottom of it. So we have all the we have all the categories. Yeah, that's what we have here. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to click on this, reduce it a bit, click right here, click right here and just bring it down, bring it down a whole lot. And this right here, I'm going to duplicate it. Okay. Delete. I'm gonna put my own test over here. Yeah, this is 2024. Then I'm gonna call this categories. Right, categories, that's what I'm gonna call it. And then I'm going to add another list. So this here also is just another list, nothing else. I'm going to add another list to it. So let's find the kind of list I want to add. Click on it, click here, we can find the kind of list I want to add. And I'm going to add this simple list over here. So I'm going to add this simple list over here, and this is going to be a list of category, a list of doc type. That's what it's going to look. It's going to be, and we have the doc type name. Then we have on the subtitle, we're going to be using something called a magic test, right? Magic test just allow you to pull data from a database in Adalo. That's what a magic test is. It allows you to pull data from, pull data into Adalo. That's what you're going to use a magic text for. So remember, we want to pull in the number, like 32 documents, right? So we just want to pull in the number of this particular category. So we just click on this on this T, right? Magic, which is a test, right? We have the name here, we have the image, but that's not what we want to pull. So we have the doc. So we want to pull in the doc count. So that's what we want to pull in, the doc count, right? So the number of documents that fits this particular category, that's what we want to pull in, right? You can see here it has 32 documents, right? So we're going to say 32, right? Click on the plus sign and we're going to say the name, right? The doc type name, that's what we just want to do. 32 and the doc type name. And then we'll come back here, just come back right here. We have the, okay, not right there. Let's go back to the left section. We have the avatar, so you can see we have this already. So we can add more action, we can add more options if we turn on all of this, right? We can add more option if we turn on the background, we turn on any of this, but I'm not sure we need that right here, but that's all we need here. So then we have this, this add button. So let's add it. This is how we're going to be adding, this is how we're going to add categories, or we're going to add docs to our, we're going to add category and we're going to add docs to our application. So let's just click on plus, click on add, let's just look for it. I think I have it here, add buttons. Yeah, this particular action button, this is what we're looking for. So we're looking for this action button. Let's put it right here, right? Take this up a bit, bring this action button down. So we need this action button. So when users click on this action button, they will be able to add a story, right? So if we come back here, you can see users are able to add a story, right? This is a form, right? Adding a new folder. But what we want users to be able to add in our application, we want them to be able to add a story. So that's an action. So if we come back here, right? We come back here, we just create a new screen. That's why when you click on this plus sign, right, and you add an action, you can say linked to a new screen. So if you say link to a new screen, just click on plus sign. It's just going to create, it's going to tell you, hey, what kind of screen do you want to create? I want to create something that will enable me to add story, add document. So we're just going to click here, say add doc, right, on the story, on the welcome aspect of things, right, on the sign up screen. So we can say, oh, we want to add this, to add story. So I'm just going to choose this login. Don't worry, it's not that bad really. Click login. So this is my add doc story right here. This is my add doc story. So I can see what it looks like on desktop. Doesn't look any better on desktop, right? So I'm gonna go back to my mobile view and Go back to my mobile view and my edit. I'm going to turn it into a white, new docs into the form, right? So the way to do that is just to add a form to it. So Adalo has a form component, right? If I click on this, just drag it over here, right? Drag it over here, and then we can say, what type do you want to create? We want to create a doc type, and then we can click on the, right? Click on the feed, and we'd say we have this doc type, right? Manually enter no. We just, you know, move it over here. This doc type, we have a doc type over here. The category, we have notes, we have image header, and then we have the name, right? So a cool way to do this, if we go back to our doc type, right? Go back to our doc type over here. Okay, let's just delete one. So if we come back here to our doc type, there will be no way for us to create directly from here, to be able to create this particular doc from here. Why? Because we need to pass a reference from this plus sign all the way to this particular screen, right? So what we can do is that we can add the plus over here inside this category. So let's take this away, right? I'm going to show you how. Why? Let me tell you what I'm talking about. So if your user click on this doc, create doc, and click on the submit button, create doc, right? The feed itself, it will not be able to add this particular feed. So let's just say automatic feed, or add a new feed. Let's take this away. Add a new feed, doc type. So when a user click on the create button, which is the submit that we have here, and the user intends to create a doc, they can click on the plus sign here, and then add a visible field. We can see that the doc type is here. The doc type here, it's not visible. In order to make it visible, we will add this visible field and call it a doc type, right? So they'll be able to select the doc type category. And another field that we want to add again, we want to add the image header. So we want to add the image header, so they will be able to select the image header category, right? So we can rearrange it. We can take the image after the name, right? We can take the publish downward right there, and for the note, we can click on the note, and then we can make it multi-line instead of multi-line instead of a single line, right? We can edit styles for the notes if we want to, but there's not a whole lot to edit. So when we click on the submit button, we'll create a new document, right? And then after creating a new document, we can say, hey, go back to the screen, go back to the other screen, to the home screen after creating a new document, and we can say the transition is going to be no transition. So no transition, users will not notice what's happening on that screen. It's going to be a whole lot straightforward, right? So that's basically how we'll do it. So let's go ahead and create a detailed screen. So when users click on this document screen, they can go to another screen that shows the detail of this particular document, right? So what we can do is that we'll add another screen again. Click here and just click on the plus screen, click on the screen and just add a screen. Let's just use a predefined template from Adalo. So we'll click on add screen, we'll click on layout screen. So I'm looking for a predefined template, a detailed screen. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a detailed screen. So I'm just going to pull this doc details. So this is a doc detail, and we just want to pass stuff into the screen, right? That's what we just want to do. We just want to pass stuff into the screen. So in order for us to pass it, we'll click on this detail, and we'll say add action, link to the doc detail screen. So when we link to the doc detail screen, you'll see the data is going to be sent, which is the current doc screen. That's what's going to be sent. And then when we come back here, we'll be able to interact with that particular screen. So it's going to be database, current, image holder, right? That's what's going to be. Don't worry, we'll deal with this, right? So here, the title, right? We're going to have the title here. The title is we're going to use this magic test, current doc name, right? This name, date, is going to be the date the doc was published. So we're going to click on the magic test over here. We'll click on the current doc over here, and we'll say created date. Take this away. We don't need any of this. take this away. We don't need any of this. We'll just say story. Let's just say, just take this away into, we don't need any of this. Here is going to be, click on the magic screen, current doc. We're going to have the current doc note, right? So I'm just going to take all of these away. I'm just going to take that away and make it a whole lot smaller. This, take this away, make it a whole lot smaller. Take it to the left. Take it to the left, make it a whole lot smaller. So I'm gonna ungroup all of this. So I think it's terrible. Shouldn't have used the template. Okay, so for the notes, just gonna take it to the top. So for this, I'm gonna move it here, and I think we're missing one thing, and that's we have the notes over here. We're missing one thing. So this is the name, this is the dates. Okay, I don't know what's happening with these templates. I'm gonna redo everything myself. So I'm gonna add the test. That will be this is gonna be a magic test, and I'm just gonna add current doc name, right? And I'm gonna add a plus sign to it at the bottom. And I'm gonna take this away, and this is gonna be the current doc note. And then I'm going to, this name is going to be a bit bigger, 20, right? The note is going to be, Sam. So I'm just going to pull this here, and this is going to be the date. Take this away and click on the plus sign, current note date, right? That's what it's going to be. And I'm going to make it, just like so. And then I'm going to add a button to it. So this is just going to be a button that shows the category, nothing else. So it's not going to do anything. It's just going to be outlined. It's going to be, then it's just going to show the category. That's all. It's going to be current doc category. What's it again? Doc type, name. That's what's going to be. So with this, we can always figure out a way to add doc. We can always figure out a way to add stories, to add stories. So here we can say this is going to be, this title, right? Take this title away, test. This is going to be the current name of the story we're reading, right? That's what we're going to do. So I think there's a desktop view, right? This desktop view is making things terrible, right? So that's what's making, because we're using the template screen and it has a desktop view, so it's making it hard to design, right? So basically we've been, it's been a long ride over here, and I think we've covered a few things. We've covered relationship, we've covered user collection, list, introduction to form, data type, actions, components, screens, and a few bit of database. So I think before we begin to run our application, some things that we need to create, I'm just going to walk you through responsive design a bit, right? So this is how you would create responsive design. There are two ways. One of them is to make things anchor, set things differently on 3 screens like mobile, tablet, and desktop. The other is to build for mobile first and then anchor everything at the middle, and then begin to create different visibility for both desktop and mobile. So the thing is, if you are scaling to fit any screen, it's way better. But if you are just getting started, it'd be good for you to use the anchor at the center and then begin to scale things as it goes. So if we turn this into a tablet view, you see the way it is. If we turn it into a mobile view, into your desktop view, you see the way it is, right? But this is just because we don't have so much on this screen, and that's the reason why you think it's fair. But if we take this home screen, I'm going to take this home screen, for example, take it out of here. I'm going to take this home screen out of here, right? Take this home screen down here, and we want to create something cool. So you can see this is the mobile screen, and it seemed good. Then we have the tablet desktop screen, and it seemed even worse, terrible. And then we have the desktop screen here, and it's way worse. So what we can do, right? We can come back here to the tablet, right? Let's come back to we can come back here to the desktop instead. Let's first of all take the navigation, right? Take all the navigation to the bottom, just like we did on the tablet. Take everything to the bottom right here, and take the navigation to the bottom, so we are left with two of this, right? And then what we can do is that we can place everything in the middle and see how everything works, right? It's scaling here like this, it's scaling here like this. But what we can do, we can go to the layout, and then on the layout we can see how we want it. Here it says scales with screen, so that's why you see if I take it to tablet, it's scaling with the screen. If I take it to mobile, it's scaling with the screen. But another way is to say, okay, I want to show this on mobile. So on mobile, if I click on this, maybe I might not want to see this on mobile, but I want to see it on tablet. Or if I'm on desktop, I don't want to see this. So I can say my view, I can click here and say visibility on tablet, right? No visibility on tablet, no visibility on desktop, right? So if I click on this, if I click on the mobile screen, I see it. But if I click on the tablet screen, I don't see it. If I click on the desktop screen, I don't see it. So I can replace this with something else on the tablet screen and on the desktop screen. So these are some of the things that we covered in the Adalo course. So if you click on the link below, you'll be able to access it, right? So I'm going to go back and go change it. So I'm going to go back to my mobile screen, and I'm going to go change it to visible. And once we're cool with that, I think we'll just go ahead and run our application. So for the sake of time, there are two ways you run your application: staging preview or share your application. I'm going to do so in the staging preview right there. So for the sake of time, it's been like a whole 1 hour going through Adalo. I'm pretty sure you learned a few things, and now you'll be able to get started building your application with Adalo, and hopefully app MVP or build your dream, get funded, and get all the cool things that you want in life. So we can actually build this on mobile, we can build on tablet, and also we can build on desktop. So I'm gonna go with mobile, get started. So I'm gonna put in my email, poordemo@gmail.com, so we can. So when you're building your application, you can actually send things like code, right? You can send things like code. You can send things like what's it called? You can send a whole lot of things to your user, right? You can tell them when you sign up, I'm gonna give you a code. So I'm gonna give you a code that code will be sent to your email, and then when you come back and that code is correct, then I'll be able to sign you into the application. So right here, we don't have any story, neither do we have any categories, and we can add anything to our application, right? So we don't go back to building the application. So what I'll do, I'll click on the plus sign, and I'll add some records myself in the database, right? First of all, I'll add the doc type. I'll just click on add, right? I would say music, right? My image, I'm gonna find any image on my tablet. I'm gonna find any image right there, and I'm gonna say lorem ipsum, right? As I'm just gonna say, and I'm gonna save. Don't worry, I just have to create one only, so I will be able to use it. And then for my doc, I'm just gonna create this. I'm gonna say how to make music placeholder. I'm gonna give it very similar placeholder, right? I'm gonna just give it note, lorem ipsum note. So let me take a note from the internet right there. So I'm going to take a note right there. Where are you? So this is my note. Publish, I'm going to say true. Doc type, I'm going to say music, and I'll save. Right, now say done. Come back here to my application and just read. So this is my application and how to make music. So we're not seeing the cover photo. Okay, now it's here, and we're seeing the category, which is music. If I click on this already, so we can see the application, and then we can see, we can see it over here, right? So let's go back. We're not seeing our plus sign. Yeah, we're not seeing our plus sign, which is not a good thing. So let's find it. Let's go look for our plus sign. Okay, I think it's not here anymore. So let's click on let's go look for our button. So click on our button, click right here and put it right here. Right, and then navigate to the add doc, navigate to add doc. That's fine. And then there's something I didn't cover earlier. So I said we can actually build one screen and use multi-screen for everything, right? So we're going to come back here again. So I think it's over here. So it's over here. This same screen, this same add doc, over here. I'm gonna just copy and paste, put it here, copy and paste, put it here again. All right, and they're going to the same screen. So when the person click on members, I want to bring it to the member screen, link to members, and transition I'm gonna say none, which is fine. And then when the person click on when they click on all files, I want to link to the home page. Transition is going to be none. When they click on settings, I'm going to link to the settings page. Link to the settings page. Transition is also going to be none. So I'm doing everything. When I click on all files, I'm linking to the home page. When I click on settings page, I'm linking to the settings page. So it's almost going to bring that illusion that everything is happening really fast, right? I'm going to go to the members page. So I think that'll be awesome. So I'm just going to reload. So I'm going to reload, and I think that should work. The plus sign, and I'm going to add new music. From Nigeria. We'll look for a placeholder and just add a placeholder. Okay, code of M is a placeholder. I'm gonna take one of this, Ctrl+C, and put it in here. My doc type, I'm gonna say music, published. So now we have two music, one, and we have the other one. So another thing to test is we click on music. So we see it doesn't really match the save settings. Remember, everything just happened as if we're using one single screen. So one screen. So I hope you kind of enjoyed this brief tutorial on how to be able to download. So we can also test this out on mobile, test this out on desktop, right? Thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked it. If you really like it, do want to subscribe to this channel. If you have questions, leave it in the comment section. And if you have Adalo videos that you love me to cover, also leave it in the comment section. And if you're looking forward to building your own Adalo application, feel free to reach out to me. Or you want to make some decisions, some choices with regards to your application, also feel free to reach out to me. I'll do well to help you out. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in a different tutorial entirely.